All right, let's talk about this. So you can see the title, you can see the graphics in the video, and man, it just disappoints me to make this type of video because it's a reflection of how far of a country Kenya has fallen in regards to continental basketball. And just to give a rundown on what I've seen throughout the years when I've been covering continental basketball, especially looking at our national teams, our clubs, it has been pathetic. Domestically, we've had players dominating, putting up some major stats. You have having people dropping, having 30-point games. You've had people have them crazy stats and numbers. But looking at their translation to continental basketball, it just brings a different story. And in this video, hopefully, I'll be able to just give my unfiltered truths on what I've seen, and you may not want to listen to this video. If you don't want to stomach this video, you can click off because it's not something that it might be pleasant. But if you're going to stick around, please understand where it's all coming from and understand what's happening, especially. So previously I've made a video talking about the BAL. I've talked about the various venues that BAL has commandeered so that it can carry on with the Basketball Africa League operation. So you have got the Dakar Arena, you've got the arena in Cairo. I don't want to butcher the name, but you can see it's in Egypt. The Dakar Arena is in Senegal. Kigali Arena in Rwanda, not Kigali Arena, but the BK Arena in Kigali, Rwanda, and the arena in Joburg. So you're seeing there are four major venues where you're going to be having these major games. But even before you even get to those major venues for BAL, let's look at Road to BAL. So Road to BAL, we've had three venues so far. Looking at Tanzania, like the venue that KPA played. KPA played in Tanzania in a very off gym. It looked like a multi-purpose gym where like they play all the games there. So basketball is one of them. I think they play volleyball. They have so many lines there. So it wasn't the prettiest looking arena thus far. Then we've got the games that they in the Elite 16 that they happened in Cameroon. Cameroon had like a very good venue there for basketball. They are a basketball nation, so they have very good. And in South Africa, we'll be having the next Elite 16 matchup where we're going to get the last final slot. So they're going to be in South Africa, which I'm going to see how Cape Town Tigers are able to match up there. So it begs the question, how did Cameroon and Tanzania win the bid to host Road to BAL? That's the big question that I just want just make sure to like put it out there so that we can have all the context where we need. Through the years, we've seen DSTV come here. They came here to Kenya. They set up shop here. Kenya is actually a very good, place to like set up technology wise. We're that country. But looking at like the longevity and looking at the duration that these people of DSTV came here, even Zuku are here. They partner to broadcast basketball. Those are the good old days. But they left because of like some politics that was inside the federation which deterred them from coming back. And fast forward to 2020, we had the Afrobasket pre-qualifiers. So the pre-qualifiers, they happened in early January 2020, just about a month and a half before the pandemic, which saw the pre-qualifiers. We had Kenya in there, we had Somalia in there, we got Eritrea, we got South Sudan in there. So we had like a couple of teams, and Kenya was hosting in the Nyayo National Stadium. So those games, when they happened, I remember the game that I mostly remember. I wasn't there physically in Nyayo, but I saw that game through YouTube. And before that game started, there was something that was very puzzling with it. That game had a 30-minute delay because of like the amount of people who were going into the arena, until like some people were using even the windows to get in, which was very off to me. And the arena was fully packed. Like there are some people even didn't get even like places to like sit. So it was fully packed, and it was filled beyond capacity to the point where even the FIBA media team that were even casting the game live didn't have even space to operate. So you could see there was so much confusion on that end. So my best hypothesis when I look at that is the real reason as to why FIBA is not even looking at Kenya as a destination is because of the experience that they've had in here, and also looking at, even if they do some digging and looking at the way our federation, which is poorly run, just poorly, it's poorly constructed, and the way they subvert the constitution with the constant scandals, makes it difficult for them to trust them to operate. And all the lies and all the hogwash that we are seeing inside our federation has led to the point where we can't even bid for even a rotubal to be held here, despite having like good facility. Okay, they're not good, but they're above average as compared to like Tanzania. We have the Kasarani Arena, which is actually quite spacious, has the seating capacity, but the problem is it's not centrally located. So the first venue that they look at is the Nyayo National Stadium. But if you look at that venue, the way it looks like, very small, congested, poor sanitation, the federation doesn't have the money to be able to do some, refurbishing. Everything is falling off, the sponges are falling off, it's all dusty, the lights, it's too expensive for them because they are broke, they don't have any way to generate money to do that. So it's all a mess right now. So FIBA don't want to associate with a federation that is a mess. The way Nyayo is a mess, the same way KBF is a mess. So I've talked about a lot of KBA shenanigans and KBF corruption, the way they have operated, the way they have subverted the constitution for the longest time. And this video, I'll just take that and add that to the constant context. Take that to context and also add it onto the argument that the real reason Kenya has fallen off and can't compete, and can't even not even compete, but even be part of a league like the Basketball Africa League, is because we don't have the capacity to be able to pool resources, have our federation official collaborate with the local politicians in the country, or even the business community, to be able to construct an arena of the magnitude that we're seeing the BK Arena looking like, the Dakar Arena, the arena in Cairo, Egypt, the arena in Joburg. Our selfishness and corruption has not let us to be able to do that. So, and also Kenya is not a basketball nation, unfortunately. We are trying to create that fan base, but unfortunately not many people are invested in it, even with the wins or losses, just because of the overall vibe that KBF have, which deters people from associating with it. All the court scandals, all the misappropriation of funds has also added on to the fact that nobody wants to associate with them. And considering the fact that KBF is a governing body, they have not been able to get the goodwill from the business community. They've not been able to get the goodwill from the political and ruling class to be able to create a state-of-the-art arena, just like the one that is in Rwanda. So yeah, we have lagged behind, especially infrastructure wise. So looking with that out of the way, Kenya has failed to be part of the Basketball Africa League, and they don't care. Kenya is not a threat anymore in East African basketball, and the reason why I say that they don't care is looking at, even we don't even have the best infrastructure to compete with Kigali. We don't have the best infrastructure to compete with Rwanda, Senegal, Egypt, South Africa. South Africa are just coming in, and they're coming in hot, and they're hosting the new Kalahari conference. So if Kenya had a state-of-the-art arena, some of the games will be not even, we will even have, if the arena, a state-of-the-art arena was built in Kenya, Kenya will host the playoffs, but unfortunately, it's a missed opportunity that we'll have to swallow. So, with that, we have lost on a lot of opportunities, especially when it comes to business. You have lost opportunities when it comes to like marketing, because there's so much that's going into these games, especially when we host them, because it's money coming into the nation. We're having all these teams, all the money from BAL coming into Kenya, creating job opportunities. I'm pretty sure if we had such an arena, we could in Nairobi, we would have created over 30,000 job opportunities for us. But unfortunately, because of the shallow mindedness of Kenyans and the people who and the KBF officials, the way they can't even push for policies to be able to like generate funds and be able to like do that and just marry with scandals, they prove as a bottleneck, and that's the reason as to why we have not been able to. And also like goodwill from our president. Like I also saw a video from Masai Ujiri saying that former President Uhuru Kenyatta, he failed to like act quickly, and President Kagame passed us, and that's the reason as to why Rwanda is where they are right now, and Fawaba are where they are right now. Fawaba is actually one of the best federations in Africa. Actually, if you argue, they are top three. They are top three in there, and the Kenya Basketball Federation is dead last in terms of rankings. Looking infrastructure-wise, money-wise, we're just not there yet, and this is something that will hurt like the future of basketball. And the Basketball Africa League is going to move with the nations that care about basketball. Looking at Kenya, we don't care about basketballs. Not only don't we have the best infrastructure, you can't even send the best team to compete in the Basketball Africa League, because you can see there are teams like RAG, APR, they're going to get a hall pass and they're going to go directly to go into like the Basketball Africa League directly, because they are the home team and they have produced and they have very good infrastructure. So of course there's no way the Basketball Africa League are going to come to your venue and your home team is not there. So of course they're getting like special treatment in there, even like the team coming from Senegal, also the team coming from Egypt, and also the team coming from Johannesburg. Of course, if they make road to BAL, which they will, because they have what it takes to do that. So looking at those variables set, Kenya can't even send the best team. KPA have tried, they failed. Ulinzi have tried, they failed. Two of the best teams in the country have tried, they fail. They have dominated domestically in games, and they have failed time and time again. And looking at even the mentality going into even continental basketball, and also one thing that I've seen is even the transactions that I've seen happening. There's a lot of players who play for the top teams in BAL are just moving to other teams and strengthening that team. For good example is a guy like Solo Diabate. He has played for Zamalek, he has played for US Monastir, and he's also played for Rwanda, not Petro de Luanda, the team that hails from Angola, and right now he's playing for Al Ahly Benghazi. And you can also see Ater Majok, he played for USM, he has played for Petro de Luanda, and right now he's playing for Al Ahly Benghazi, and they're going to partner with Solo Diabate. So they have been moving. So you can see like there are a couple of transactions that I've seen from these big star players in BAL, and they've been moving from team to team, looking at different situations, looking at change of environments. And one thing that is glaring is Kenya has not even attracted talent even from that talent pool, because we are not good enough, because we have embraced failure at the continental level. We are mediocre. Our teams only know how to play Kenyan basketball, but they don't know how to adjust and adapt to African basketball, continental basketball. That's one thing that they have failed, because majority of the time our officials in Kenya enable some mediocrity in the game through the officiating. And I've seen it even through our national teams. When we play continental basketball, we really struggle a lot, especially when it comes to calls. It comes to, like, those calls made by those referees, because those referees are not Kenyan. So the calls that you used to get away with when you're here in Kenya, we don't get away with them. So yeah, there's that. That's another variable that's made us, drop in the rankings. We're the best in Kenya domestically, but when you go outside, we're the worst. And we've continued to be worse because that's the culture that we have created, and it has pushed us away. And the Basketball Africa League are looking towards expanding, and that's why you're seeing South Africa has entered the mix. Next time you'll see Cameroon enter the mix, you'll see Angola enter the mix, you'll see Tunisia, you'll see Morocco, you'll see all these countries. To some extent, you'll also see Tanzania might even get in the mix ahead of us, or even Madagascar. They can get in and have those games there. So you're seeing the Basketball Africa League are not waiting for Kenya, because we have shown that we are very incompetent. The federation has shown that they are very incompetent, not even at the domestic level, but also in the continental level, to be able to, like, even know how to set up for success. And it has pushed us back years back. It has pushed us way back. So I mean, it's sad, because I'm a Kenyan. I like watching my country's flag. I haven't put the pin there. You can even see on the graphics. We have totally failed. We're not a basketball nation, especially when it comes to continental basketball. We can't even attract the top players in BAL to play for even KPA or Lindsay. Let me just say KPA, because KPA have had 3 go-arounds, which they have failed. The only time that they were close to making it into the inaugural season was in 2019, which they have had the strongest side. They won every single game they played on the court. They only had a walkover against City Oilers, and it ruled them out completely. The other times, they've just been pathetic. Out of 5 games last year, only won 1. This time, they didn't. At least last year, they made the second round, the Elite 16. But looking at even this year, they didn't even make it past, like, the first stage. It couldn't make the Elite 16. We lost in very embarrassing fashion. We depended on foreign players that can't do anything for us. Couldn't even attract the best quality players in BAL to be able to, like, get us to that point, because you're not a basketball nation. And KP at that point couldn't attract the top talent that were in free agency. After the BAL season, you're seeing some key free agents, some top players are just available to be picked up. KPA doesn't have the capacity to pick them up, because I'm pretty sure they can't even match the price tag. So yeah, I mean, it's pathetic. It has been pathetic. Not only can't Kenya even make it to BAL, or even, like, challenge, even to get inside there, because we have seen City Oilers hailing from Uganda make it to BAL. We have seen Cobra Sport make it to BAL. I mean, look at those teams in East Africa. We're not even the best team in East Africa. We can't even produce the best team in East Africa. The only people that are making some serious strides are the women's teams, and not to disrespect them, but honestly, right now I'm just looking at what the men's team can do in relation to the Basketball Africa League, because it has much more impact. It's much more historic. And quite frankly, it's the main reason as to why, like, the basketball is going to change and everything is going to take shape. And given the years to come, they're going to discover and be able to, like, assist even in constructing, like, state-of-the-art venues, if they're able to, like, generate the money to be able to, like, get it back. So if Kenya is not going to put up money to build a state-of-the-art arena, we're just going to continue to regress and continue with, like, the same mentality of mediocrity and incompetence. And these are one of the videos that I don't like talking about, because it's really frustrating to see a federation that is very poorly run. They have very bad PR. They don't care about the fans. They are mad with scandals. They are very corrupt. They got their offices unprocedurally. They violate court orders. and they don't even care about improving the game. So what is there that the Basketball Africa League can look at and see, oh yeah, this is what we want to invest in? Because if you look at all that baggage that we have, it cannot even allow anybody to even touch us because of like the what we got. So it's very distasteful, and I'm looking at the Basketball Africa League continuing without us, and they will continue to add on to like the league. They're going to add on to basketball, and Kenya is just going to continue missing out. And we have only the only people that we have to blame is ourselves, because it will get to a point where even getting into Road to Bal will be 10 times as difficult, because there are so many teams. We have so many countries. We've got 50 plus countries gunning for that spot. Out of all those teams that are going into Road to Bal, only 6 teams are required. So you can even have like even 20 to even 30 nations gunning for only 6 spots. So you can see how difficult it's going to be. So every single opportunity that we have, we blow it. And quite honestly, it's just going to be that type of year. Any team coming from Africa dominating domestically, coming even from Kenya dominating domestically, but when we go to continental basketball, we fail. And I just knew from the get-go that KP are going to fail, because it was just inevitable. It was just a matter of time. I actually predicted a sweep, but at least they were able to like beat Elan Cotton, which was great. But the games against Dynamo and Pazi were just heart-wrenching, especially Dynamo. It just didn't look good, and in a span of 3 days, a whole season's work was just erased. All that fight to get to the finals just to lose in embarrassing fashion just next door in Tanzania was quite embarrassing. And yeah, I mean, that's the state of how things are. So man, I don't know how this good video is going to be received, but it really pains me as a Kenyan basketball analyst covering basketball. I love covering continental basketball, because I feel like basketball, every stage has an end point. Once you have a team in the NBA, they dominate in there, they get to Division 2. They have to dominate there, finish top 2, go to Division 1. From Division 1, they have to make the finals. The top 2 teams go to the Premier League. When you win the Premier League, you get a spot to Road to Bal. You get to spot to Road to Bal, make it to the Elite 16, make it to Bal. Let's say you have a Cinderella story, you win it. After you win it, you've got the FIBA Intercontinental Cup, which the winner goes and plays. The team that has dominated in Bal has the opportunity to play other teams in other continents. So you can see there's always an end point. Where Kenya is stuck is in the Road to Bal stage. So getting past there, it's just going to take a miracle at this point, because I don't think we have the capacity to be able to like get there. All the acquisitions, all the money spent for 3 days for the new coach that KPA had went to waste, because there was nothing that yielded, nothing came out of it, honestly. And they're just back to playing Kenyan basketball and watching BAL at home, where we belong, because Road to Bal failed, and the teams that are going to go to Bal, they're just going to enjoy all the benefits, win or lose, regardless of who wins. It's a win for it's a win for the home team, it's a win for the people, and it's a win for everybody, because everybody is able to enjoy that. Like, let's say a country like Kigali, a country like Rwanda, Kigali is going to enjoy like all the goodies that are coming in. Let's say money wise, status wise, for Aba are going to get to that level where they're going to cast those games. They're going to get exclusive access, something that KBF, if we had our structures well, we would have been able to like get that and also get that money. So I can just say it's a missed opportunity. I know this video is dragged on, but I just had to get these things out of the way, and hopefully things might change in the near future, hopefully. But with all things considered, the powers that be will do whatever it is they want to do, regardless of any counsel from me. So they'll just continue with the same mediocrity and the same incompetence, and we shouldn't be worried or afraid, because we brought this on ourselves. Kenyan basketball, we like and appreciate mediocrity and bringing everyone down, each other down. So yeah, I mean, it's a very vicious cycle. So yeah, man, that's all I got for you guys. So if you guys like the video, make sure to leave your feedback on the comments, because it's a sad situation. And I'm out. Peace.